own words instead of, say, choking like a dog. Here's Ted Cruz leaving a campaign stop in Marion, Indiana yesterday when about a half dozen Donald Trump supporters were across the street holding signs and crying out, "Lose with Cruz and do the math." That's when Cruz passed by his motorcade and went over to speak with them. Why would you do that? Because when you do that, this happens.
I'm running to be everyone's president. Those who vote for me, even those who don't want you. Well, you're entitled to your views, sir, and I will respect it. In fact, I will
do the math.
I will
You ask cases to drop out. It's your turn.
Well,
take your own word.
Do you know on the wall that Donald told the New York Times editorial he's not on the wall? He's not going to deport anyone?
Lying. Once again, lying, Ted!
Well, sir, civilized people don't just scream and yell at each other. I'm not yelling at you.
Where's your Goldman Sachs jacket at? We know your wife works there.
Actually, I was supported by, and am supported by 1.3 million contributions all over the country. Our average contribution is $60. Donald Trump is deceiving. He is playing you for a chump. Sir, America is a better country
without you.
Thank you for those kind sentiments. Let me point out, I have treated you respectfully the entire time. And a question that everyone here should ask:
Are you Canadian?
Do you want your kids? Do you want your kids repeating the words of Donald Trump?
That's great stuff.
Are you Canadian? I want more, What's wrong with that?
He's broke up. Are you Canadian? Mark Halpern, what's he doing?
I'll say two things.
What's he doing?
I've never seen anything like that.
Oh my God!
And it's reminiscent at the end of the Rubio campaign, right? At the end of the Rubio campaign, when he went for like a whole different thing.
It went longer.
Saying things up. Oh yeah. I mean, you don't walk over.
No.
To protest. And the minute the guy started doing like shtick, you leave.
No, but who's that guy? He's got great timing.
Oh yeah.
That timing.
Are you Canadian?
Well, you see, that's the problem when you have the Shakespearean pauses or the Pinter pauses, whichever they are. You leave room for a guy to get the question that everyone is asking. Are you Canadian?
If that guy's not on Howard Stern by Thursday, America.
Okay, so when did he do that, Mark?
I think he tried to shake things up because the dynamic's not great, but I've literally never seen a candidate do anything like that. Like, I've seen people be heckled and walk over, like Joe the Plumber type situation, but you walk away. What, is he going to win them over with his
Trump supporters?
His Princeton debate skills? I mean, it was but I think
Cruz is throwing everything against the wall. He can throw. Right?
Got him on the
we got more.
He really is.
We got more. You mentioned this 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Because you have a mind like a 10-year-old, you want to see this. This is Ted Cruz and a child from Sunday.
That is hateful.
Let's
talk about this.
All right, apparently there's a young man who's having some problems. Thank you, son. You know, I appreciate your sharing your views. You know, one of the things that hopefully someone has told you is that children should actually speak with respect. In my household, when a child behaves that way, they get a spanking.
Spanking?
Did they just escort a 10-year-old kid out?
No.
This is like version Monty. Did the guards just escort a 10-year-old out?
This is what you wanted to stop Trump? That is what you thought would stop Trump. Think about this. Everybody think about this. Why?
Let's go back to Mark Halpern. Mark Halpern. Politics 101. Do you escort a 10-year-old kid out and then lecture him and say you deserve respect?
I don't think you go negative on the 10-year-old. Maybe that just...
What is wrong with your party?
Go ahead, Mark.
It's not into this. Is not cresting well for the Cruz campaign. Fighting with the 10-year-old, fighting with the heckler. I don't get the whole thing.
At least,
but I will say this:
there wasn't a Gary Bauer moment.
I will say this:
nobody fell off the stage.
Look, I would not be surprised. I don't know if the 10-year-old was sent by the Trump folks, but I would not be surprised if some of this is mischief being created, not in an organic fashion.
Do you think think that the 10-year-old boy is a Roger Stone flunky?
He might have been a midget.
Jimmy Fallon called him Donald Trump's grandson. Okay, a new poll finds that Republican voters think Ted Cruz's selection of a running mate is less about the country and more about a gimmick. 83% tell the NBC News SurveyMonkey online tracking poll that Cruz announced Carly Fiorina as a way to revitalize his campaign. Just 16% say it's because she's the best vice presidential candidate. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is finding all sorts of ways to criticize Ted Cruz. Not sure why he needs to make an effort, honestly, because Ted Cruz is doing just fine by himself. On Sunday, Ted Cruz's running mate Carly Fiorina was introducing Cruz when...
Was she okay?
She okay? Oh my gosh, she turned and stumbled off the stage. She okay? Cruz's wife extended her arm toward Fiorina, and an aide walked over to help her. She's okay. But Ted Cruz perhaps not noticing.
Let's see.
Because Ted Cruz tends to think about Ted Cruz, and he's caught up in his oratory and his handshaking, firmness, and that connection that is so fake that he has with people, that he kept on shaking hands.
Heidi was worried. Look, she saw.
Heidi was sort of concerned. Oh, let's go help her. Okay, so cue.
Okay, then she's smiling, so she must be okay.
Cue Donald Trump.
She fell off the stage the other day. Did anybody see that? And Cruz didn't do anything. Even I would have helped her, okay? They just showed it to me, and I said, wow, that's really cruel. She fell off. She just went down. She went down a long way, right? And she went down right in front of him, and he was talking. He kept talking. He didn't even look like... That was a weird deal.
And I thought we weren't going to have anything to talk about today.
You know, this whole thing is a weird deal. I mean, he is right about that. This is a weird deal. The whole thing is a weird deal.
Trump loves doing play-by-play of the other campaign.
Yeah.
Loves
He
it.
does.
How could you not?
Yeah.
And how
So,
could you not?